Have you ever wondered what a full-scale modern missile attack actually looks like? On April 13th, 2024, the world got a glimpse when Iran launched an unprecedented aerial assault on Israel. We're talking over 300 munitions fired in a single night. Drones, cruise missiles, and ballistic missiles, all heading for the same targets. This wasn't just a random volley. It was a meticulously planned operation designed to overwhelm some of the most advanced air defense systems on the planet. So, how did they try to do it? The key strategy here is called a saturation attack. Imagine trying to catch 100 baseballs thrown at you all at once. That's the principle. Iran launched its attack in waves. First came the slowest munitions, the Shahed drones. These are relatively cheap, propeller-driven aircraft, flying low and slow. They act as decoys and distractions, forcing the defense systems to reveal their positions and use up valuable interceptor missiles. Then, while the air defenses were busy dealing with the drones, the next wave arrived. Faster, more sophisticated cruise missiles. These fly at low altitudes, hugging the terrain to evade radar detection. Finally, the knockout punch, the ballistic missiles. These travel at hypersonic speeds, re-entering the atmosphere from space on a steep trajectory, making them incredibly difficult to intercept. The goal is simple: to throw so much at the defense systems, from different directions, at different speeds and altitudes, that something inevitably gets through. Now, let's talk about the economics of this conflict, because it's staggering. To launch this attack, it's estimated to have cost Iran somewhere between $50 and $100 million. That's a lot of money, but now consider the cost to defend against it. Israel, with help from the US, UK, France, and Jordan, spent an estimated $1 to $1.5 billion in a single night to intercept nearly everything. That's a cost ratio of at least 10 to 1, and possibly much higher. Think about it. A drone that might cost $20,000 requires an interceptor missile that can cost millions. This creates a severe economic imbalance. An attacker can sustain these kinds of assaults for far longer than a defender can afford to repel them. This cost disparity is a huge strategic vulnerability and a central part of modern asymmetric warfare. It's not just about whether you can stop the missiles, but whether you can afford to keep stopping them. So, what does this all mean for the future? This attack has completely rewritten the rules of engagement in the Middle East. For decades, Iran operated through its proxies, like Hezbollah in Lebanon and the Houthis in Yemen. This was the first direct state-on-state attack from Iranian soil against Israel in history. It signals a major shift from shadow warfare to open confrontation. The implications are massive. It demonstrated Iran's capability and willingness to project power across the region directly. It also showcased the incredible effectiveness of a multi-layered, integrated air defense network. But it exposed that glaring economic weakness we just talked about. This event will force nations worldwide to rethink their defense strategies. They'll be asking, are our current systems capable of handling a saturation attack? And more importantly, can we financially sustain such a defense over time? This one night of fire in the sky has set the stage for a new, more dangerous chapter in global security. Thanks for watching. If you found this analysis insightful, be sure to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into military technology and geopolitics. See you next time. As the first wave of explosions faded, defense analysts around the world began examining the scale and coordination of the attack. Because this was not a random barrage. It appeared highly organized. Missiles were reportedly launched in multiple waves, designed to arrive within a tight window of time. This kind of timing is crucial. Missile defense systems rely on tracking, prioritizing, and intercepting incoming threats. But when dozens of targets appear simultaneously, commanders must make rapid decisions about which missiles pose the greatest danger. This is where saturation tactics come into play. Instead of trying to guarantee every missile hits its target, the attacker simply overwhelms the defense with volume. Even the most advanced shield can struggle when hundreds of projectiles arrive at once. According to defense researchers who study missile warfare, this tactic has become increasingly central to modern conflict. And Iran appears to have been preparing for exactly this type of scenario. For years, Iranian military planners have invested heavily in ballistic missile production. Factories across the country have produced different classes of missiles designed to strike regional targets. Short-range systems, medium-range systems, and increasingly precise strike weapons capable of targeting infrastructure. That matters because Israel ADS missile defense network was designed with multiple layers to handle different types of threats. The Iron Dome intercepts short-range rockets. David's Sling handles medium-range missiles. And the Arrow system is designed to intercept ballistic missiles traveling outside the atmosphere. Together, these systems form one of the most complex defensive networks ever built. But no defense system is perfect. Every interceptor missile is expensive. Some estimates suggest that a single Iron Dome interceptor can cost tens of thousands of dollars. More advanced systems cost even more. Meanwhile, the missiles used in saturation attacks can be significantly cheaper to produce. This creates a strategic dilemma. Defenders must spend enormous resources intercepting every threat. Attackers simply need enough missiles to overwhelm the shield. Military strategists sometimes refer to this as the cost imbalance of missile warfare, and the latest barrage appears to demonstrate that imbalance clearly. But the military implications go even deeper, because Israel does not operate in isolation. The United States has long been Israel's most important security partner. American radar systems in the region help detect missile launches early. U.S. naval vessels, equipped with advanced missile defense technology, also patrol nearby waters. In previous regional escalations, American forces have quietly assisted in tracking and intercepting incoming threats. That means any large-scale missile confrontation between Iran and Israel has the potential to draw the United States into the situation almost immediately. And that is where the global consequences begin to expand. Because the Middle East sits at the center of the world's energy system. A large portion of global oil shipments pass through strategic choke points in the region. Any conflict that threatens those routes can quickly ripple across international markets. Energy traders watch these events closely. Even rumors of instability can push oil prices higher. Insurance costs for shipping companies can rise overnight, and governments begin preparing contingency plans. If tensions continue escalating between Iran and Israel, the risk to regional stability grows significantly. Neighboring countries could be pulled into the conflict. Militia groups across the region might become active, and military forces from outside the region could be deployed to prevent a wider war. But perhaps the most important question remains unanswered. Was this attack meant as a warning, or the beginning of something much larger? Military analysts say missile barrages of this scale send a powerful message. They demonstrate capability, they test defenses, and they signal political resolve. But they also carry enormous risk, because once direct strikes between major regional powers begin, controlling the escalation becomes extremely difficult. Every response invites another response. Every strike increases pressure for retaliation. And within days, a limited exchange can spiral into a full regional conflict. Right now, governments around the world are watching carefully. Diplomats are working behind the scenes. Military commanders are monitoring radar screens across the region. Because the events of this night may mark a turning point in the long and dangerous rivalry between Iran and Israel, and if the pattern of escalation continues, the next round of attacks could be even larger, even more sophisticated, and far harder to stop, which raises a chilling possibility. The missile barrage we just witnessed may not have been the climax of the crisis. It may have been the opening move. And if that is true, the Middle East could be entering one of the most dangerous chapters in its modern history. Because when hundreds of missiles begin flying across borders, the line between deterrence and full-scale war becomes dangerously thin. And the next decision made in Tehran or Jerusalem could determine whether this confrontation ends quietly or ignites a conflict the entire world will feel. This crisis may only be the beginning.